Evening, coming up for midnight, half past 11ish. Just down in the speed shop, working late. Got some pasty bites out tomorrow. Got a big group out, so we were CT 110 in and CT 125 in. Just sort of do an update, see how everyone is. Coming to the end of summer. Hope you've had some good riding. Been pretty good. We've been out and about quite a lot. It's been a busy summer. So sorry, there's not too many videos. Sorry, there's not been too many interesting videos. Before I head home for tonight, I thought I'd do a quick video to say that the speed shop, in its current guise at least, or in its current building, is coming to an end. So the place where I moved into 2 years ago, just as a response to COVID and lockdowns, and trying to operate a motorcycle tour business when there was rules of six in place and travel restrictions and everything else. So this building was rented, and I got the postie bikes, and then the postie bikes blossomed into the A2 fleet and then into the Enfield fleet. So I think I've got 30 bikes in here now, with the help of David, a chap who's come on board and put some money in for the Enfields. So yeah, a 30 bike strong fleet in this place, but yeah, it's coming to an end. Just one of those crossroads in life, really, where there's decisions to be made, and you kind of got to choose which way to go. So either keep pursuing the speed shop and the bikes and everything, which has been good, but it's quite obviously labour intensive having a fleet of so many bikes. Also, the risk of damage and wear and tear and maintenance and MOT and taxing and servicing. You know, it's a kind of an endless drone, really. And it's difficult to talking from a business point of view, it's difficult as other small businesses find to grow to a point where you can bring staff in and pay for staff and run it that way. So versus the tours I was doing where people went off I took people off on their own bikes. So it was a minimised fleet. I didn't need a premises. And at this junction in life, it seems maybe that's the way to go back to now the world has opened up post-COVID. But there's a lot of people who had to change and adapt to post-COVID world or the response to COVID, and find a new way and find a new path, which will obviously come around again now. We've got all the warnings of energy cost rises and fuel and things like that. You know, a lot of small businesses are going to have to re-establish, refocus, reevaluate, and move forward. And I suppose if we're looking for an adventurous slant on this, then I suppose adventure is change and change is adventure. So if things stay the same, if we keep doing the same old thing day in, day out, year after year, then it's difficult to find adventure in that. But if you let yourself flow with the direction of the river and the current of the river, then change will come and adventure will follow. So I guess that's what I've become quite good at over the last sort of 15 years or so, is just accepting change and embracing change and moving with the times and that. So we'll see what happens. There's a few what's it? Things in the iron, pokers in the iron, something like that. A few ideas rumbling. But really, the plan for next year is just to get back to doing tours for people on their own bikes. So we've got Ireland, Spain, Land's End, John O'Groats, Fire Island, Cornish coastal runs, Welsh safaris, Scottish trips, off-road events. So yeah, it's by not having so many bikes to worry about, it'll let me do a better job and do more of those things. So yeah, that's a new adventure for next year. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of bikes for sale, a lot of bikes going. Not all of them, but some of them, most of them. So yeah, it's been a good few years. So thanks for the support, those who've been down and ridden. If anybody wants to come and ride some bikes before the end of October, give me a shout, because then would be the time to do it. So hopefully I'll get some videos up on actually riding motorbikes. I spend a lot of time on motorbikes and forever wish I was recording at the time, but normally I've got a group behind me to focus on, so it's difficult to talk, narrate, think of whilst you're trying to make sure you've got 6 riders still behind you. So I want to do something on the CT125 and how to ride one of those, because there's a real skill and an art form to riding a centrifugally clutched bike, which not everyone gets, and even owners of the bikes don't seem to. It's not easy to pick up, but it's not easy to learn the art of riding those bikes. Then the Continental GT, a bike which I've really warmed to over the last few years, find it comfortable. I want to do something more on the Motor Marini. I've got the Himalayan with a high lift cam and a high lift suspension. That's to do a video on. So yeah, lots and lots of bikes. KTM 390. I really want to do a finishing video on that, because that's another bike that's shone through over the few years I've had it. Been reliable, been fast, exciting, a good bike. CCM GP450. I'd love to see it running before end of the season. You know, it's got a drain on the battery and the fuel and a fuel leak from beneath the 3 tanks where they join. So a bit of a mission to solve that one. And that's it. And then finally the Vela Selects, which has never ever seen action. So if anybody wants a nice Vela Selects, well, it's not a nice one because it don't run and it needs parts. But yeah, if anybody wants a Vela Selects, it's yours if you want it for a sensible amount of money. So that's it. I shall keep doing some videos for a few more months whilst I'm in the speed shop, and then hopefully progress beyond that when a butterfly becomes a moth, but I think it's the other way around, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, so I hope everyone's riding. That's the main thing, get out and ride. I sold a bike to a chap in the village. I actually sold the CB500X Rally Raid to a guy who came down to ride it briefly, really liked it, bought it, and messaged me and said, you know, he's not gel with it, or it's not for him, and he's going to sell it, and wants, you know, wondered if I want it back, sort of thing. And you kind of look at, you know, question how many miles he's done, where's he been, what targets has he set himself, and does it come down to the fact he's not ridden enough to get the true pleasure of motorcycling? You know, if you've done a fair few miles, and you decide it's not for you, fair enough. But if you've only potted around the village, maybe gone as far as Woolacombe and decided, yeah, not sure, you need to set yourself bigger goals, go further afield, then decide. Because once you've left, I guess, the safe shore of home, an hour or so away, things take a different turn, things take a different perspective, and things become more exciting and daring and engaging and different. So maybe that chap needs to do that before he sells it. And maybe you do too, before you sell your bikes. So that's it. Over and out. Home for a cup of tea and bed.